away from the Smith Center. Babatunde grabs it. And here comes GW with the first possession. It is Bishop to the baseline. Outside handoff, Maximus. JB fourth, great pass inside Buchanan, inside all the way, but Stretch lost it for a moment, gets it back out to Maximus, and he buries the jumper.
It's good for Max's confidence, get a three going. Rookie of the year last year in the league. As we know, Byron, that means he got circled on everybody's scouting report. Getting a little more defensive attention, nice steal.
Big steal for Darren Buchanan Jr., and look out below. A thunder jam in the first minute.
You can't do better than that if your coach can put it in GW. A steal for a dunk and a three in the corner.
Louis Courtwright gets the ball, a handoff for Fuchs.
Remember Courtwright, he's a transfer from Quinnipiac, who's in first place under Tom Pecora right now in the MAC.
A little collision there, Jaden House and Maximus Edwards, so that's the first personal foul of the game, and there's a look at the Rhode Island coaching staff. Archie Miller from NC State in his second season with the Rams, 225 career wins.
Coach Johnson, great guy here from locally. He's a local guy. And then Austin Carroll, who played at American U. His father was John Carroll, coach of the Celtics in Duquesne. Good staff for Archie. They just have to try to bring that winning tradition, which is strong at Rhode Island, back to the A-Town.
Three players from the Commonwealth of Virginia on this Rhode Island team. And House short on the three. The ball's ripped away. Buchanan has a better chance at it against Fuchs and gets
Good
it out
pass
for Maximus. Down the lane he goes. The double pump lay-in is good.
That's the start you want. You get Max a three. He passes up in the three, takes it to the paint where he's so good. He's a big guard. Buchanan fronts the post. It's a turnover by Rhode Island. And I think while Garrett Johnson has been tremendous this year, we love all he's done. He's a great story off the court. I think GW is more poised to handle Johnson out than Rhode Island without Green. He's had 20 the last two games. He's their best player.
Good news, we see Garrett on the bench. He's in street clothes with just his travel suit, so that's nice to see him with the team.
And for the Rhode Island fans, our friends at the farm up there in Rhode Island, Green will be back. He had a little bit of a flu. He will be back, if not the next game, in 2 games is what I heard. So
they also did not dress Always Right as well, the sophomore transfer from Northeast Oklahoma A&M.
Yeah, he's here. He tried to go, just couldn't go.
And the Rams trying to get on the board. Down a touchdown here in the first 2 minutes. That's Courtwright. Battling against Jacoy. The fadeaway leaner is a beauty.
Tough shot. Jacoy's in there usually making that shot. Courtwright took his time, faded baseline. The one thing Jacoy could have done was flown him with his hand up.
GW coming off that loss against Dayton a week ago, January 30th. Rhode Island lost to Duquesne in their last game, 85-71 on the 3rd of February. And here comes Jacoy. Misses that one. Stretch tries to tap it to Maximus. Bounced back to Rhode Island's Tyson Brown. To the 10 and a layup and one for Rhode Island. Nice move by Brandon Weston from Brooklyn.
Nothing wrong with Babatunde going out there to contest that, but we want to try to take away his right hand. Don't let him drive that strong with his right hand.
And that'll be the first foul on Stretch. Second team foul, GW.
I had Rhode Island against Delaware up in Long Island. Nice team. Saw lots of different potential there. Estevez is really good, New Yorker from Riverside Hawks with the Canterbury School. That's probably, they play 9 guys, so they lost 2, so they're down to 7. GW plays 8 guys, they lost 1, so it's going to be a 7-on-7 game on paper.
5 in a row for URI.
Couldn't ask for a better start if you're GW. You just didn't want to give up that N1 there.
JB4 outside of the wing. The stutter step looking for the pass to Stretch. Cross court. Driving is Buchanan with the floater too hard off the glass.
Good move, just got to finish. Now you got to get back in transition defense. Rhode Island Archie will.
Courtwright to the basket. The fader in the lane is short. JB is knocked around, but he holds on.
Now I want to try to get James Bishop a shot. I'm going to run him off a stagger or something like that. I just want to get JB and Edwards going. Got to finish that.
Buchanan leans in, and he'll again answer the bell.
So June and Max have all the points.
That stops the quick Rhode run. 4 minutes in here, first half, back in action after 1 week. Fuchs. Tyson Brown, 9 on the shot clock. Court right, sees it for a moment. House with 3 on the shot clock. NBA three-pointer. Air ball, that's a violation of the shot clock. Good defense by the Revs, and an immediate timeout number 1 on the board. GW with the lead early over the Rams, visiting from Kingston on ESPN+.
$1 million Whopper contest. I can top that.
I can top that.
Hey! You can top that!
You bet!
Really? Avocado, bacon, hollandaise.
Hollandaise?
Pickles and sport peppers.
What? Corn chips!
Brisket and barbecue.
I can top that.
Bacon, egg, and cheese Whopper.
Pizza Whopper.
Creating your Whopper your way could win you $1 million. Can you top that?
Captain, ever since you discovered zesty Hidden Valley Ranch, you never stay in character anymore.
You know we're not actually pirates, right?
Of course we be pirates. Look at me hook.
Hidden Valley Ranch.
Only serious about flavor.
Yeah!
Get ready for the rush to the playoffs. The biggest games on the biggest stage. An outdoor hockey doubleheader at MetLife Stadium. The most intense playoffs in sports begin in April and culminate with the most revered trophy of all. The Stanley Cup Final returns to ABC and ESPN Plus this June.
Welcome back to Washington, D.C. Our player to watch for Rhode Island is Jaden House. He has the most three-pointers for the Rams this year, 31. He had to airball that one last time on a desperation shot, but 17 against Duquesne. He is a senior from Richmond, Virginia, and could be a difference maker tonight for Archie Miller.
Yeah, strong guard, knows how to score. He's going to have to do more. Look, David Green's out. He's had 20 the last 2 games. He's going to have to score. Darren Buchanan's just been fantastic. He's a point center. He can play point guard, 3-man, 4-man, 5-man. Probably not a 2-guard. That guy can play 4 positions. He's at 38 in this building. He's really coming on. And right now, I think he's the leader for the Rookie of the Week, Rookie of the Year in the A10. And Garrett Johnson's not far behind him.
Coaches love quick starts. This is exactly what you wanted for GW. 4 for 7, coach. No turnovers in the first 4 minutes.
So a little bit of token pressure here. Don't know, it's a 1-2-2. Don't know if they're going to trap. Just try not to let GW run this stuff. No trap over half court. Always like to try to throw that in the middle and attack. Archie Miller, of course, he knows how to do a lot of different things. He learned from Herb Sendek at NC State. Tormented us at Maryland when we were there.
Antoine Smith Jr., he loves the corner pocket. Buries the 3 for GW.
Look, it's no secret that with Garrett Johnson out, someone else has to play. I think this year, Chris Caputo's been searching for an 8th man. Trey Autry's the 7th man. Jacoy's solidly the 6th man. And I like Smith. You know, he played at Evansville. He can make some threes. He's kind of a 4-man, 3-man that can make some threes.
Bishop from the other side, and back-to-back three-pointers, forcing a Coach Miller timeout. Suddenly it's a 10-point game.
And what I like there is Smith made a 3, but he's a veteran. Nope, next one, let's get our leading player, our top player, James Bishop, a 3.
2 quick three-pointers for GW, 1 for Smith and 1 for Bishop. And now Trey Autry's going to come in after the Rhode Island timeout. Here's a replay. Out of the corner, Antoine Smith Jr. says, thank you very much. From the banks of the Ohio River in Evansville to the banks of the Potomac in D.C.
Love that, Byron. Love your enthusiasm. Rhode Island has Cam Estevez coming in. Played really well when I was up there at the Delaware. The Delaware game was in the Islanders Arena. We have 4 banners hanging, by the way, from there. 6 cups, 4 banners. Estevez really turned it on. He's a freshman. And now Trey Autry. So Estevez and Trey Autry become two key freshmen on their teams because they have to play a lot of minutes with guys out, and I think that's a good thing.
Estevez, the freshman from Harlem. Trey Autry, the freshman from Janesville. And we're back in action after the Miller timeout.
And they're guarding each other.
That's Courtright against Jacoy. Around the horn they go. House will drive in with the left and then switches to the right for a beautiful layup.
You talked about him earlier. That's where he's trouble because he is strong. Now they're trying to match up. The coaches are desperately trying to get Rhode Island to match up in transition.
First turnover for GW. Steal all the way down the Euro step, laying good for Zeke Montgomery. The Bradley transfer.
Good time. Bradley, who's in first place in the Missouri Valley Conference. Well, maybe a game behind Indiana State, but Bradley, see, these are strong programs. When they're having good years, that's the new model. The low major pluses, the mid major minuses go to the
Trey
high
Autry
major.
is open, a little bit hard on that three.
Because they have experience, but playing at Bradley and Quinnipiac, those are two really good places. They can come into Rhode Island, see if they can test themselves at the A10 level.
Not much arc of that shot, but a big offensive rebound. Zeke Montgomery has plenty of time to bury the three. 7 in a row for the Rams.
One thing I don't miss about coaching, offensive rebounds by the other team. They're always either fouls or they kick them out for threes. You got to have defensive rebounding as an automatic. That's got to be big here because Rhode Island struggles to score. Don't give them an opportunity for a second shot.
Step back for Maximus off to the left. Brown the rebound.
Good timeout by Archie Miller. They're on a 7-0 run.
Another wide open three. This one from the corner doesn't go by Estevez. That would have been huge.
They just want to execute. They got see this is my man June Buchanan playing the point. Good drive.
Jacoy all the way to the 10. The underhanded layup, thank you very much, from Jacoy.
See, June's playing the point guard. It messes you up when the 5-man all of a sudden is out of the perimeter. June gives it to Jacoy, who drives and lays it in.
House can't get that one. Jacoy one-handed rebound, pulls it through, and then drives at the right side.
Want to run the offense, get Max's look
June
here.
at the top of the key. Antoine Smith, a long three-pointer. And a few misses in a row now from outside for GW. Courtright backs it up.
See, Jacoy gets right into him. Says they make him. Now he gets under, goes under the ball screen. Oh, you got to help a little longer if you're going to go under.
A lot of room there for Courtright, but in and out. Quickly up comes Maximus, goes right to the basket, and he's pushed out of bounds. Foul against the Rams.
Maximus with a great drive. Trey Autry knows he goes to the low corner. That's an NBA play. As far down in the corner as you can. Maximus looks like he could have had a layup, but he fires it. Would have been a wide open three had he not been fouled. Good look.
Now you talk about going deep into your bench. Connor Dubsky, who's played only 7 or 8 games this season from Woodbridge, Virginia, is in for the first time. So without the likes of Wright, that's always right, and David Green, Archie Miller's going to have to go deeper into the bench tonight. Smith is underneath. Pump fakes. Back out for JB4. He'll drive.
Nice
Past his man. The underhanded layup turn spin. Good.
That's a nice play by Babatunde. See, he looked like he was posting up, kind of leaned in, almost set a screen for Bishop to go to lay in with his left hand.
Stretch and Bishop back in, and Bishop makes him pay. Scoop layup doesn't go for Estevez. Missed his first 2. Jacoy into the front court will spin. Trey again left open, three-pointer. Got it! That looked much better.
Yeah, catching it on balance. He's got to... Look, who do you think the week off helped the most? The first-year players, not just the freshmen. There's nothing like playing. There are a lot of games at home. You go on the road, you win in DC, emotional. Go to Dayton. Wasn't very good out there. Hey, they're number 17 in the country for a reason. The week off helps Jacoy and Trey and Garrett and June that are playing their first real lot of minutes in college.
Courtright got that one as he had a hand on Bishop to settle himself and buried that one. That snaps a 7-0 run for GW. Bishop to the 10 again. That one's blocked out of bounds. Another substitution for Rhode Island. Weston will return after the second media timeout. 10:52 left in the first. It is GW leading at home over Rhode Island on ESPN+.
Security. It's something we all want. Something we need to feel safe. It's everywhere we go. It's in everything we do. But the idea of safety can be overwhelming. How do you secure what you can't see? How do you secure your future? For 80 years, WAPA's group term life insurance has helped provide financial safety, security, and peace of mind to current and former civilian federal employees. To learn more, visit WAPA.org.
Raise high, revolutionaries. This is our calling. For more than 200 years, in the heart of the nation's capital, the George Washington University has produced leaders on the global stage. At GW, we are advancing knowledge, serving society, and making an impact. We shape the future. So rev up. Expand your world. Ignite your passion. Strive for success. Together, we raise high.
We're having fun in the snow all winter long with a Twisted Tea drop. We're surprising real Twisted Tea fans who love the smooth and refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea with 5% alcohol to turn things up. Twisted Tea tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Main Street Bank is the official business bank of George Washington Athletics. Proud to support the Buff and Blue. Visit mstreetbank.com for more information. 10:52 left in the first half. GW 22, Rhode Island 14. The Revs 56%, 9 of 16. They've hit 4 threes. Rhode Island 1 for 7 from downtown, 6 of 15 to start for 40%. They have 5 from Zeke Montgomery. GW's got 5 from Bishop and Maximus Edwards. Good energy to begin this game. Good tempo for GW. Rhode Island averages 73 a game. GW averages 80.
You know, it's one of those things where GW made sure everybody touched the ball early, and clearly, we got to get Maximus going. But then Bishop got it, and then Smith came in, and then Trey hit a shot. You know, let's grab that ball. Keep spreading the ball around, but make sure Max and Bishop are getting shots, because they're the guys that are going to carry you through February and into March when really critical time to play. Now it's good Benny's in.
Benny Schroeder lost the handle, and here comes Rhode Island's Montgomery. Transition three is too hard.
One thing Benny's got to work on, he's a good player, came from Oklahoma, really touted coming over from Germany. He's got the turnovers really, that's one of his little things I notice every game. And
Autry hands off to Schroeder, reverse layup, couldn't get it to go. But he'll get a chance at the line. Foul on Rams.
Yep, nice pass by Trey. The turner, Benny, just don't try to do anything too hard. I know you were highly recruited out of, great pass. Like, he's highly recruited out of Germany to come to Oklahoma. You know, this talk, can he go to the NBA? This stuff happens. Okay, it didn't come to fruition. Now just start grinding away. You got 4 years left to play at a beautiful city campus, international place. Just don't turn the ball over. Make some shots. You got a little bit of a flu. Because him and Smith, they need some players down the stretch here, GW, as they run into the rigors of the A-10, a fantastic league, a league that's had multiple bids. Basically, that's what they have. And you're going to have to fight your way up to catch Dayton. Richmond's really good. VCU's coming on. Well, GW's really good. Rhode Island and Archie can really coach. You know, this league's never going to they're never going to let you go in this league. So Benny could be really good. He's just going to focus on doing the little things.
1 and 2 at the line. The stretch of the lead to 9. Nearing the halfway mark of the first half. Dubsky hands off. Estevez. He'll drive in. Fuchs for Montgomery again, and we got an illegal screen. That's David Fuchs from Austria. They'll Quickly 3 team fouls now on Rhode Island. And that is Jeremy Fomina, the redshirt freshman from Canada, coming in. Trey Autry will hand off for James Bishop IV. Also, Rory Stewart, number 15, in for the first time. Another player that doesn't play as much this season as he did last. And there's the traveling call against Schroeder. A couple of early turnovers for the Oklahoma transfer.
That's what I mean. You're trying to do too much too soon, and that's okay. That's a fresh. This is his first year really playing. But this is a critical game. I mean, you're up 9. My thing with guys off the bench was just kind of figure out how to stay in the game for a while. And usually that's by not making a mistake. Just you don't have to do anything great. Just kind of fit in. And then all of a sudden you can do stuff because he's really a good athlete. He's tall, and Rhode Island is down their best player.
Yeah, letting the game come to you.
There you go.
Jaden House.
June Buchanan has done a great job of adjusting to the college game.
Estevez, a long three-pointer from the Monument, and it is good.
Trey Autry got caught, his hand down. It's funny, Trey said nice shot. That was an NBA 3, but he was at the top of the key. Got to have your hand up on him.
2 threes for the Rams. Bishop now driving to the paint, under.
Nice pass.
Gets it to Autry. He tries to get the stretch, but it's knocked away by Weston. Jacoy and Maximus at the scorer's table.
It's too
Bounce
easy.
all the way in.
Too easy with his right hand.
5 in a row for the Rams.
That's a 4-point game. It's all right. I try to find Bishop. Oh, look, I like this drive. Get him.
Now the turnovers are piling up. 5 for the Revs.
And that's one of my things. Turnovers can be contagious. That's why we don't want to have any live ball turnovers turn into scores down the other end like that. Sometimes that's why I like June at the top of the keys. It's nice to go with the ball, and June gets fouled a lot, but he's really tough to guard from the top of the keys, so it opens it up for everybody else.
8:25 left in the first.
See,
largest lead was 10.
He was the guy I was most impressed with up in Delaware. He can play a little point, but he's a scoring guy. That's too easy,
Great
too.
backdoor inside, and one again for Rhode Island. Weston gets it.
They just run that shuffle cut. Got to get away in towards the ball. He catches it. Now, if we're going to foul him, I'd probably foul him a little harder than that. Max had his hands down. It's a cut towards the ball. And they don't have a true point guard out there, and because always was their backup point guard. But Estevez, I'm a big fan of this guy. I mean, he was at Hayes, which Ian Jackson, who's All-American, went to. He was at Hayes, transferred to Canterbury School for his last 2 years. Really good player, got good size for a guard. And all of a sudden, it's a 1-point game.
8-0 run. Bishop outside. Thinks about the 3, hands off to June. June fakes and drives against Stewart all the way in and makes it go, even though there was so much contact with Fomina, the 6'11 center. Big basket there for GW. Breaks the 8-0 run. Crossover. Weston leans in against Stretch.
Oh, nice
Stretch
block.
says, get out of here. Jacoy on the break for Maximus. The floater, his shot is blocked. Underneath the basket, Junior has his shot blocked, but it's a foul. And another timeout on the floor. This game is flying. Sean Hull has the call. It's a foul against the Rams. Timeout at 7:32. Big play by June there to help GW maintain the lead.
$1 million Whopper contest. I can top that.
I can top that.
Hey! You can top that!
You bet!
Really? Avocado, bacon, hollandaise. Mwah.
Hollandaise.
Pickles and sport peppers.
What? Corn chips.
Brisket and barbecue.
I can top that.
Bacon, egg, and cheese Whopper.
Pizza Whopper.
Creating your Whopper your way could win you $1 million. Can you top that?
Hey man, ever since you tried Zesty Hidden Valley Ranch, I feel like you've been a bigger fan of that than the closers.
How could you say that?
Ranch time.
Hidden Valley Ranch.
Only serious about flavor.
Throughout humanity's existence, there have been ideas, strides, and accomplishments. Simple changes that redefine everything. For example, this will be the last moment you ever think of soda as being a dirty word. Soda! And that's because this soda, Poppy, has none of the bad stuff. Instead, it has all of the flavor. The future of soda is now, and it's called Poppy.
Ladies and gentlemen, is this not the greatest tournament in the world?
Oh, are you kidding me? That's what they came to see.
Get ready for the rush to the playoffs. The biggest games on the biggest stage. An outdoor hockey doubleheader at MetLife Stadium. The most intense playoffs in sports begin in April and culminate with the most revered trophy of all. The Stanley Cup Final returns to ABC and ESPN Plus this June.
Welcome back. Byron Kerr and Jimmy Patsos from George Washington. Register now to join fellow GW Rep fans for food and fun at the free Raise High tailgate before the game at George Mason. The event kicks off at 5 p.m. Tuesday, February 13th at the Capitol Ale House in Fairfax. Visit the Buff and Blue Fund on gwsports.com to register now or email buffandblue@gwu.edu for more information. Went there last year before the game. Lots of Buff and Blue at the Capitol Ale House. It is the place to pregame in Fairfax before you go to Eagle Bay.
And that was a win on the road last year. Yes.
Yeah.
They got you here, but
that's right. I'm remembering the loss. You're right.
The win,
78-75.
So go to the tailgate
at the former Patriot Center.
Got to get the sweep against George Mason, but let's focus on finishing against the Rhode Island Rams today.
Yeah, that's important.
That is Mark Turgeon over there. The former head Maryland coach is over here behind the Rhode Island bench. I think he's friends with Archie Miller. Last time Turgeon won an NCAA game, who was there, he beat Danny Hurley, who started his career at Wagner, went to Rhode Island before UConn. He was at UConn. Turgeon beat him in the 7-10 game in the COVID year in Indianapolis.
Now I see him, yeah. Above section 102, the
Good
second
man.
row. Out of the corner, Maximus misses. Buchanan goes up hard, and he is down, getting up slowly. He's okay.
4-on-5, got to match up.
There. 5-on-4 inside, and desperation for Bishop there to not allow Fomina to have the easy layup. Has to get his second foul, though, in the game.
Yeah, it's tough because they couldn't match up. June was on the ground back there. That happens. Got to just try to not keep almost dare him into taking a three. Instead, they got in the paint. Now they're going to try to cut it to 2.
Bishop has 2 fouls. So does David Fuchs for the Rams. And here is Fomina, 6'11", only a 34% free throw shooter. So always a good idea to foul Fomina, at least this part of his career.
Yes, the Price is Right music was appropriate there for his miss.
As a team, Rhode Island 62.7%, a weakness.
But he
for
makes
the
the
Rams.
second, 1 out of 2. My man from Montreal, Quebec. Come on, tellez-vous, mon ami. He played at Orangeville Prep, a very famous school up in Montreal where Benedict Mathurin was once at. He's with the Pacers now.
So back to a 3-point game as June comes through. Will drive against Fomina. Out for Bishop. June, a rare 3-pointer, and tantalizingly close to going in.
Good use of the word tantalizing. I like that. You know when he has to take that shot. He's such a good driver. He gets to the paint. The next step is the 3, and then the mid-range off the bounce. But he has to shoot that because they're going to almost dare him to shoot that. And June's development as a point forward, which I love it, and that's a total compliment. That's what he has to do, and he can't be afraid to take it because that's why, you get scouted and the next thing's open. Take the 3. Just don't even hesitate.
House with the quick moves on the left side. Off the screen, Estevez.
That's a tough
Jacoy
shot.
was all over him. It's a high off the backboard, and that leads to a breakout for Maximus. Get out of the way.
Yep.
Left-handed jam for Maximus. Beautiful transition by GW.
Max has a layup, a dunk, a three. This is good. We want Max to keep going.
6 minutes left in the first.
I like that. They're icing the ball screen. Max pushes him into Jacoy. Don't let him drive with his right hand. Now run another break if you're GW. Good pass. Finish that.
Maximus gets it to Bishop, gets it to June. Can't get the layup, rips it away, and puts it in with the right hand. The strength of Darren Buchanan Jr.
Started on the break. I like it. Max not afraid to throw it ahead to Bishop. Bishop finds June. June follows it up.
But that was the key. You were right. The speed of that and the power they had on the pass to Bishop led that break.
There's nothing wrong with taking a little fast break opportunity. You don't have to run sets every time.
House, no. Fomina, underneath, bullying his way in for the shot. 2 revs there for the rebound. Oof.
It's all right, keep
Max
running, keep
gets it
swinging
across
the
the
ball,
timeline.
stagger away if you have to.
And again, a chance to get it to 9.
Well, for me, this is a tough matchup for him. And there goes Bishop. See the case
Bishop is held. No look. Jokoy can make it 10.
Good look. Nothing wrong with that. See, Bishop, to me, love him. James, great kid. He's always been a great kid. Can score. Maybe a little too unselfish there. Just go up and hit your layup with. Go up and hit your 5-footer with your left hand. You know, this team needs Bishop down the stretch to score a little more. That means you have to take a little more shots. Tough shot right there.
Basket what counts for Montgomery. Goaltending against Stretch.
He caught it off the backboard.
Yeah, hits the backboard first, and then automatic goaltending. So that cuts it to 5, and GW will get the ball, and there's a look. Zamoku Weluche Ume from London, England, in for the first time.
From the Barking Abbey School, the home of Billy Bragg, the singer. Thanks to don't Byron gave
my
me that
crack
earlier.
research, yes.
It is.
Billy Bragg.
Finish
and
that.
Tremolos. And there is Stretch to dunk it.
See, I like this. I like the minutes. Look, we're going to miss Garrett Johnson. We need him back ASAP. We love Garrett. Great family. He's been playing tremendous. But Zam, Benny, Smith, someone really take advantage of these minutes by just having a plus. You know, plus minus is a big term in the NBA. Look at that.
There is Stretch to knock it to Tonic, 2 blocks away. It's a big block there for Stretch.
One of our sponsors, and they got good tater tots there.
Outstanding. Great wings there, great cheeseburgers, and Stretch deserves all that.
See,
timeout on the floor. Under 4 minutes left in the first.
What a recovery by
Stretch with a stop
Babatunde
on ESPN Plus.
When you get the diagnosis of cancer, you don't know how you're going to handle it. You really don't know what's coming down the road for you. I was diagnosed with stage 4 oral cancer. The doctors at GW Hospital were fantastic. They were willing to advocate for an alternative treatment that had better outcomes for me, better life over a longer term with fewer side effects. I want to say thank you for getting me through cancer treatment and back to living my life.
From routine care to life-saving emergencies, we're here for you. The George Washington University Hospital.
Gas prices got you fuming? No need to get heated. Save time and money with Metro. Ride, save, explore. Metro.
Oh my goodness! It's the three! Are you kidding me? Right to the basket, score it! Plus 4! Nini all the way in. Block! Jam time! On the goal! One! Is it inside? Oh, and the slam! Tim Villa at the buzzer. 3, 2,
GW Athletics. Thanks, it's 2023-24. Official hotel partners, Arc Hotel DC, Hotel Hive, and the River Inn. Located just steps from campus, enjoy exclusive discounted rates for members of the GW community when you book your stay at Foggy Bottom. To secure your stay and learn more, go to gwsports.com/hotels, and we'll see you at the game.
GW has 7 assists. URI has 2. That's why they're winning by 7. 7 assists to 2. One thing URI's done a good job of was that little stretch there where GW had 3 or 4 turnovers in a row. They have 10 points off turnovers. So points off turnovers keeping URI in it. And the 7 assists is what's keeping GW leading.
And a good box out from Brandon Weston there for the putback.
Those offensive rebounds, that's 3. They've gotten 2 twos and a 3-point kick out. That's 7 points off offensive rebounds. So Rhode Island working hard, getting kind of some hustle stats to keep in this. GW just got to keep out executing.
Here is Bishop high off the glass. Make sure it's not blocked, and he puts it home.
Like that. Use your left hand. James crafty scores. Lefty's going to score all kinds of ways. When you have 40 in a game twice, which he's done, that's not just one way of scoring. Get him into the paint.
On the low blocks, the turnaround, a pretty shot by Zeke Montgomery.
Yeah, it was a nice move.
Bishop having trouble again with the shoe. Back in the plays you see on the screen on the right. Stretch has it for Bishop. Hutchinson will drive towards the basket. Center step underneath the basket. Comes all the way through.
See, Zam cuts out of the way for the
4 on the
Bishop.
shot clock. Bishop, a tough 3 out of the corner.
It's all right. But I like that. Zam cleared out for the veteran. Now Zam trying to hit the offensive glass when the shot goes up. It's our next step in our progression towards getting more minutes.
Maximus is going to be called for the block. His
Should be on the floor.
Second.
Should be on the floor. No problem there. Probably want to get Max out with 2:34 to go.
Trey Autry and Darren Buchanan Jr. coming in. Zam and Bishop come out. Dubsky's back in for Rhode Island.
Dubsky was he went to Sunrise Christian. That's in one of those famous leagues. They play Oak Hill and Montverde, and they're in Kansas, in Wichita, Kansas, very famous high school.
There's Zeke Montgomery, and once again, a nice touch.
Zeke played center in high school because he has a good touch in that paint.
Legs get tangled up. Chikoy gets it in the corner for Autry out of the corner, in and out.
That's right, good look.
And a foul against Stretch on the rebound, and that'll be his second. So only 6 fouls against GW, Coach, but they're all against Bishop, Edwards, and Stretch.
Yep, 2 each. Still want to pick up a third. Coach Caputo's going to leave Maximus in there.
2:08 left in the first, and they're going to make sure
I like
Stretch can get
Montgomery's
off
game
the
for
floor.
Rhode Island. He has 11 points, my man from Bradley. Louisville, Kentucky guy. He can shoot threes, too. I did my research on him early, but he has impressed me with his little inside game there. He's kind of a little bigger than you think, can shoot threes, scores inside, does a little of everything. I like Montgomery's game.
Nice spin move by House. He has elite speed.
He's too strong. Can't let him in there. It's not the ending you want. There's a minute 49. You see Dwayne Wood and Kenny Johnson standing up over there, the assistants. Dwayne Woodward, great player at Boston College. Great player. He's on Archie Miller's staff.
There is June. The ball's knocked out of bounds underneath. It'll stay with GW. About half the shot clock remaining.
You know, and Archie Miller, known to be animated. He might get out on the court a little bit, Archie, too. Look at that good spin move. They kind of have that jump hook back to their left right hand over their left shoulder. Every player on Rhode Island can do it. Clearly, that Coach Carroll and the staff are teaching that in practice. Yep, drive that on him. Montgomery's going to try to take away his right hand.
8 on the shot clock, 7-6. Maximus with a long jumper. He had House right there, but he did help with Buchanan's screen, and it's a big 3.
Yeah, he's just rose up above him. Nice patience. It's really important to keep Max going. 10 points, very important for the rest of the season, so I'm very pleased to see that.
Nice backdoor inside. is missed, but another chance for Courtright, and he makes it right.
Offensive rebound, second chance points, little hustle plays, keeping Rhode Island around. 2-point game, outstanding job by Coach Miller. Remember, they won their first 3 games, including beating St. Joe's, who was at the time in Ken Palm, and the net really ranked high.
Hutchinson left wide open for the 3.
That's a good look. It's a good look. Let's get back in transition defense. Rhode Island's going to try to run their stuff. Remember, the A-10, Bernadette's here, the commissioner, great coach at Georgia Tech in her own right, worked in the ACC, the commissioner here. The A-10 has 7 teams in the top 100. Okay, that's a 2 NCAA, 2 NIT bid right there. And Rhode Island, see, I pushed him there.
They're going to get a push off this time, Tyson Brown.
So Archie Miller's got a little uphill climb. Chris Caputo got out to the fast start at 16-16. They got 14-7 right now. But standings in the middle, and Byron, you notice better than anybody, the top 4 get a double bye. The bottom 4, you're going to have to play, too many games probably to win it. So stay in the middle, try to maneuver your way up. That's why it's a big game. 4-5 Rhode Island versus 3-5 GW in the standings in the Atlantic 10.
Chance to get the last shot off here to end the half and go up by more than 1 possession. Bishop 7 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Looking for more.
Yep, can slip that. Taken away
4 seconds. Antoine Smith, an NBA, frees too hard. And that's where we'll end. Didn't go well in the second half. Had a big lead at Richmond. Didn't go well in the second half.
Yeah, and that's why it's great. Max got off to a good start, and that you got your leader in Bishop, and Babatunde's here. That's why Isaac Okoro is here. And you just have your veterans lead you, whether it's defensively or offensively, and that's a good stop. See, Babatunde deflects that. He didn't come up with a loose ball.
Perfect play call by the Rams to begin the half. Equally great defense by GW, and Maximus with a great hustle, forcing a timeout, or rather forcing a foul against Rhode Island.
Yeah, and once again, it can be a defensive play. Remember, June had the steal to start the game overplaying. It can be a defensive play that can spur the good start. Now, I like this. June's handling the ball. He's always good up there.
There you saw Tyson Brown with the foul. Babatunde got a good piece of it. And, he's charged up with Okoro in the front row.
The first thing I asked Okoro was, how's Babatunde? Like, is he really happy here? We all know he says that, but his friend goes, no, he's very happy here playing for Chris Caputo and going to school in Foggy Bottom. I said, who wouldn't be?
Here comes the Rams looking for a tie or a lead. They haven't had a lead in this game. On the low blocks, and
letting them play. Sean Howell and John Gaffney
again.
Sean Howell and John Gaffney are going to let this game be played. John Gaffney, as good as it gets, referee. Played at Bentley for the record. Division II Falcons powerhouse. Sean Howell's been around 30 years. This is the A-10 in February. It's going to be physical. You're going to have to finish. And Babatunde is a defensive presence that set the block record here. Hold your ground if you're June.
Big steal, Jacoy, 2-on-2. Jacoy attacking through the Euro step. Lay in, no good. Stretch is going to call for the offensive goaltending. And instead of allowing Rhode Island to get out on a transition, that actually helps GW.
Yeah, I thought it was a good attempt at slamming it, but if his hands are in the cylinder. See, they had that shuffle cut before that hurt him.
Goaltending again on Babatunde.
They've had the shuffle cut from the opposite side, Coach Miller's run, and that was a ball side, hit the corner, slash through. Ball side, hit, slash through. Can't let him face go. You got to keep the player from cutting in front of you and getting an easy pass like that to the basket.
Montgomery now has 11, and that ties the game.
Yeah, he has 13. The man from Bradley's a good player.
Buchanan backing in. Here comes the trap attempt.
Yep, keep moving the ball.
Bishop driving to the basket, forces his way through, can't get it to go. Ball loose on the floor, and Stretch called for the hold.
It's tough because James, they're pushing him right. He wants to come back and shoot with his left hand. We know that. Maybe run the baseline a little if you're Edwards. Just kind of move around because I want to get Max that ball. He was really looking good early in the game, and he's so critical to this team. Love my man from Connecticut, went to our savior. Kansas State doesn't work out, comes here, all-rookie team, rookie of the year in the A-10. Now they know who you are. Now you got to take the next step, and sometimes that's moving out with the ball or finding different ways to score because it's so important for Max to play better. And I love the guy from Connecticut. Just every time I see him, big smile, great personality, really happy here. But you know what? Now GW's down 2.
First lead of the game for Rhode Island. Courtwright delivers. In the corner, Maximus 3. Jacoy climbs the ladder. Big offensive rebound.
Great rebound.
Screen and go. Bishop driving all the way through. Feeds it into stretch. Turns away from the basket. Fires it up. Can't get it to go. And
just created the contact.
Foul there against Max, his third. So now Stretch and Max each with 3.
Yeah, it was kind of a house just kind of made him call that play because he drove with his left hand, trying to take away his right.
Yep. Antoine Smith Jr. back in, as you can see. Had a big 3 to begin the game.
Yeah, Antoine Smith had a 3 in the first half. Now he took a couple others. Next step, maybe drive it on him because he's kind of a forward, kind of a big guard, small forward type. Max is icing the ball screen. Doesn't want to let him go with his right hand.
Tyson Brown. They try the alley-oop and they get it to work to Brown as Buchanan on defense gets called for the foul.
Pace of the game is going, even though I know they score 70 points a game. It's because they're executing their offense. This pace, I don't like this pace for GW. I want to play faster. I think Chris Caputo's an excellent pressing coach. Their press has brought him back. We've been here 2 years together. I'd like to see him press a little more. He's really good at it. 55, creates tempo. Jacoy got a big steal to beat Davidson. Because you can't just let Rhode Island run their stuff. Miller's too good of a coach for that.
3-point play there from Tyson Brown, and the largest lead of the game, and now 5. 7 straight to begin the half from the Rams. June running point again. Ball's knocked away. Bishop in the backcourt will retrieve.
Yeah, Weston's doing a good job. He's taking advantage of his time with Green on. He's got 8 points. He's also making it difficult for James Bishop.
And Bishop gets an and one. Biggest play of the game for GW. Weston with the bump and a chance for 3 points for
George's Army. George's Army likes it. Reminiscent of his play almost at VCU that won the game. Kind of an off-balance left. That's where he's a crafty scorer. That's why he has such ability. It's not just whether he hits threes or drives for stuff. He can make crafty shots like that.
Two on Brown, and Bishop gets 1 here to get to double figures.
Just got to match up in defense with UGW. Courtwright, the transfer from Quinnipiac.
And a big 3. Zeke Montgomery having the ball game.
Yes, he is.
Only had 4 against Duquesne. He is red hot tonight with 13. Bishop all the way through, and Tyson Brown swats it away.
You got to match up here. That's too easy. Ooh, we got luck.
Circus shot there. Brown's there for the offensive rebound.
I don't want to sound like a broken
Rhode
record.
Island up by 8.
I don't want to sound like a broken record, Byron, but these offensive rebounds that Rhode Island is turning into points, that's the difference in the game, really. If you take one statistic, that would be it.
Here is a 3 by Bishop, and that ball is tapped out of bounds. Stays with GW. Timeout on the floor. 15:58 left. A slow start to the second half for the Rebs, but a red hot start for the Rams. Rhode leads by 8. Media timeout number 1, second half on ESPN+.
Gas prices got you fuming? No need to get heated. Save time and money with Metro. Ride, save, explore. Metro.
I had life-threatening bleeding in my brain.
But thanks to the virtual reality technology at GW Hospital, my surgeons were able to look inside my brain and plan for a successful surgery. It's remarkable that I woke up and ran 5 miles this morning. I would tell GW Hospital, thank you for giving me new life.
For life's defining moments, the George Washington University Hospital, defining medicine.
Make your trip monumental. Sightsee through DC without overspending on gas and ride shares. Experience DC the local way. Ride, save, explore. Metro.
We're having fun in the snow all winter long with a Twisted Tea drop. We're surprising real Twisted Tea fans who love the smooth and refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea with 5% alcohol to turn things up. Twisted Tea tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Raise high, revolutionaries. This is our calling. For more than 200 years, in the heart of the nation's capital, the George Washington University has produced leaders on the global stage. At GW, we are advancing knowledge, serving society, and making an impact. We shape the future. So rev up. Expand your world. Ignite your passion. Strive for success. Together, we raise high.
Join GW Athletics Leadership Giving Society, the 1732 Circle, by scanning the QR code you see on the screen. By making a $25,000 pledge, you will directly impact the experience of GW student athletes for generations to come. Multi-year commitments to the 1732 Circle will be used to enhance the university's 20 varsity sports scholarships, facilities, and other initiatives. Byron Kerr and Jimmy Patsos. Not the start you wanted, so a timeout, and the media timeout variety at least, still gets you a chance to try to figure out what to do here to go back to what was working at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, just got to run a set. Maybe, Bishop, we got Edwards going early. Maybe you run something for Bishop. Obviously, anytime the ball's in June's hand, because he's such an effective driver like that.
And one there for Darren Buchanan Jr.
It's got to go back to your bread and butter. June driving is good. Got to stay positive. You don't have Garrett Johnson. Maximus and there's Babatunde. I like that up there, encouraging his team, having some good energy on the bench.
3 fouls on Tyson Brown.
Weston was a good player. He went to Seton Hall, maybe a notch above his level. He's taking advantage of his minutes. Montgomery, he wants the ball. Courtwright's playing from Quinnipiac. House, they're sharing the ball a little at Rhode Island, but guys are stepping up with Green out. I want to see, can Trey Autry do it? Can Smith do it? Somebody has to take Garrett's time. Garrett not only shoots the ball, he's tall, he rebounds, emotional. He's not going to be a rah-rah guy, but he kind of plays so hard. This is an opportunity. Is it going to be JaCoy and Trey? June's already elevated. He's not a freshman anymore. He's like a senior the way he plays in terms of his emotion and how hard he plays. This is an opportunity for guys. It's too easy.
Nice lean in there by Jaden House on the left side.
Smith is getting posted up. They did it to Babatunde. It's like a post up but slash screen, and then the Rhode Island players going to lay it in. But this is what I want to see from GW's. Who else can help us win this game?
Darren Buchanan Jr. stepped on the baseline.
And sometimes it's just got to come from within. You just got to get fired up and want to get every rebound and win it. James Bishop, the one thing with him is he's not a fiery leader. He's not doing it intentionally. Love him. Absolutely love James Bishop. That's why I like Babatunde coming back in. Caputo, great move. Put Babatunde in. Put Maximus in. Just my veterans, you're going to win this game. It's an important game, but Bishop's going to lead sort of by example, not by rah-rah or getting your face, but JaCoy or Babatunde does a great job. Sometimes you just got to get a little more emotional. Nice steal by June.
Here comes June. JaCoy Hutchinson starts it. JaCoy's got it back. Maximus back in the game. GW trying to take advantage. Points off turnovers. Ball's kicked. It'll stay with GW. 11 shot clock.
Plenty of time left. No panic here. Keep running your stuff and get a couple consecutive stops if you're GW. Rhode Island, they've done a great job. They kind of seem to exploit the mismatch that's in their favor. Coach Miller doing an outstanding job of that.
There is June. Back over to Bishop. Long three.
It's a good look.
In and out.
Got to take that. Now get back in defense. Yep.
They do get the offensive foul call there. John Gaffney called it on the push.
Archie's right. Archie's right. He knows it. Why'd you do it? You didn't have to do that. In other words, you were ahead. You were going to kick it. He definitely pushed his own. He definitely pushed off. You see, that's why I don't miss coaching anymore. Because Court Wright, who I'm sure is a wonderful human, he looked at everyone and said, I didn't do anything. Well, I think you did.
Well, also, you talked about the refs, get them debate on the head bob. They're gonna call it. So Rhode Island did it. The head bob works this time for GW. You're gonna call it. Make them call it. But you're right. Unnecessary push-off.
No, stopped a big break, and now Babatunde with the
stretch, and it's knocked away by Zeke.
He's gonna try to dunk it. Got to be tough in there.
House out of the corner, in and out on the three. The tap out by Weston. And they get it inside, and House is able to
It has just been one
second
time
chance
after another.
Points.
And give Rhode Island credit. Give Archie Miller and his team credit. They are captain. They're getting offensive rebounds, but they're cashing them in for twos. One time a three. They have 6 twos. That's 15 points.
Darren Buchanan Jr., a big shot on the elevated layup.
Yes, goes right back at him.
The offense is outstanding right now for Rhode Island.
Yeah, their efficiency is very high right now.
Here comes House again. Ball's out of bounds. 2. A.J. Desai might have a dissenting opinion.
Sean Hall
gets it corrected.
Veteran official says, I don't have a big ego. I just want to make the right call.
Antoine Smith Jr. back in. Trying to find some instant offense.
Yeah, you probably
Wholesale changes for Rhode Island, led by Cam Estevez.
To me, Coach Caputo's done a good job with that. He's just trying to get guys a little bit of extra rest going into the timeout, because June clearly is critical for the team to be successful and come back. He's going to get a minute rest and go to the 12-minute timeout.
Here's Antoine Smith Jr. in the corner. Maximus a little bit long on that one. And Louis Courtwright with the rebound. He'll try to go coast to coast. Bats it out. Weston low blocks. Courtwright open three. Short, Maximus can lead the break. Settles in.
There you go, Jacoy.
Jacoy to the basket, reverse layup won't go. Get a 2 at the line.
Smart DMV player. That's what you get when you go to DeMath and IMG.
And Jacoy
get to the line.
Not feeling great after that. He's on the floor. His teammates are with him.
He'll be all right.
And he landed on the tailbone.
What I like about Jacoy is, see here, he knows. This is his Mike Krzyzewski Duke trick. Let's get to the line from good programs. You get to the line. We're going to cash in a couple points. We're going to stop the clock. We're going to set up our D and go get another stop. Smart play by Jacoy.
The trainer over there to help him out, Jason Nunez. And he's up okay. Wants to shoot those free throws to help his team. Not so much fun seeing a Zeke score all these points, but you hear the name Zeke and you think about Isaiah Armwood, boy. What a
player he was. Transferred from Villanova here and really did well. Montrose Christian guy.
Shout out to Zeke Armwood.
Played for who? Coach Lonigan, correct?
Yep. Great shot blocker in his own right. Had some outstanding offensive moves and very physical player. Very good player here.
Yeah, great player here. Those are those little things. Hutchinson missed a free throw. J.B. Bishop, who's outstanding scorer, has had 40 twice in a game. He's missed a free throw. Those are little things when you've lost a few in a row. As a team, I'm not talking about the staff or the coach. As players, you have to say, we're going to do every little thing right because we're a really good team. We just got to turn every little notch into productivity so we get back on the winning streak.
Court right into the front court. Jacoy's waiting for him. Hoops the handoff to the basket. Estevez. Another offensive rebound knocked out of bounds by Smith, and he knocks it off of Fuchs out of bounds. What a play.
There's a couple calls that have gone GW's way by getting their hands. Estevez, nice driving layup. He's going to try to score. That's what he does. He's a freshman, but he's going to try to score. Man from Teaneck, New Jersey, home of Alan Alda from MASH. And they have a great Vietnamese place I go to there. But I'm sorry, I just love basketball. When you go do Bergen Catholic and Seton Hall Prep, that's where you go, food and basketball. But Estevez, you have to be ready. He is an instant offense type of guy.
Jacoy, once again, the baseline, another defender.
These little things, it's only a 6-point game, but these little things Coach Caputo is going to teach him, they add up and matter. That's why when you're at Miami and you come into the league and slowly get an NCAA bid and then this Elite Eight and pros and all that, by doing, Coach Caputo knows from Larinaga, that lens of let's do all the little things because they add up. Right now, GW's got to find a way to grind through this little mishaps they're having.
And here comes House trying to go to the house. And Antoine Smith now showing some defense to go along with his three-point shooting.
Good for you, Antoine.
You're going to get more minutes. You do defensive plays like that.
Like Isaiah Armwood.
I'm out on the floor. We love you, Zeke. Zeke Armwood from GW. And Antoine Smith Jr., we love you too on ESPN+. We'd like to take you to the bank. Main Street Bank is the official business bank of George Washington Athletics. Proud to support the Buff and Blue. Visit mstreetbank.com for more information. Byron Kerr, Jimmy Patsos, 12 minutes left, second half. Rhode Island got up to a 9-point lead. GW scored 3 to cut it to 6. That's a good defense by Antoine Smith Jr., but it's still Rams basketball with 17 on the shot clock. Got to continue to build those stops, right? Build on the stops.
Plenty of time left. Archie Miller, you see him over there teaching with Estevez, who he said is an instant offense type of guy. And then Coach Caputo, both in their second years, trying to revive once proud programs back to where they were. NIT championships, NCAAs, Tyson Wheeler, Cat Mobley, Lamar Odom, all the players here. Yuta Watanabe, who Zach went and saw in the NBA the other night for the Phoenix Suns, and all the great players. Well, that's not always easy, and you have to have a little patience, but that's why this is kind of one of those big games in early February, like which team's going to take the next step in the Atlantic 10 Conference.
Court Wright shaking and baking against Max. In the paint, the fadeaway. No, got his own rebound. No look behind the back pass is blocked away by Smith. Ball's loose, and we've got a foul.
Once again, they sound like a broken record. Those are offensive rebounds. Then it's a block you don't come up with. Just got to come up with that little ball. Good defense by GW. They've got a couple stops in a row. Just come up with that and then go down and convert down the other end.
Another foul.
It's almost like Archie called that. He was right behind the referee. Archie, sometimes he'll get out on that court. Good for him.
Buzz Williams style. Estevez handoff.
It's a little flex cut. Too
House
easy.
Underneath for the lay-in.
Great execution. Flex cut, curl, lay-in. Byron, you just pointed to me at the break. Too many points in the paint for Rhode Island. How many do they have?
And they've done a ton of that here as things have gone on. Maximus Edwards with a huge shot. 36 points in the paint now.
That's 36 points in the paint. Max, way to come back right at him.
Points in the paint there from Max. So they GW now has 26. So that's a big difference, you're right. Court right for Estevez.
A double team.
A man one inside for Zeke Montgomery.
When June went to double team, Smith's got to go down and get in front of the other man. In other words, you double team, take away the easy pass. And that was a Herb Sendek special. They would double post to post, and the guard would dive in. So Archie knows how to handle that, learning from the great Herb Sendek, who's now at Santa Clara. He's had pros the last 2 years. And Jaden Williams and Padinsky out there. But you have to dive down and intercept that pass if you're the George Washington Revolutionaries.
What a game for Zeke Montgomery, 19 points. His career high is 20.
Well,
and the largest lead again of 9.
You know, we've seen it time and time again where a team loses their best player. It doesn't mean it's good for the long run. But in 1 or 2 games, a team can step up and answer the bell, especially if, you're an emotional team, you really like the guy who got hurt. Well, right now, Montgomery and Rhode Island is stepping up. They are stepping up without Green. And, everybody thought when you walked in the gym and didn't see David Green, the transfer from Hofstra, who's a really good player, oh, what are they going to do? Well, they've answered the bell as a collective unit, Rhode Island has.
Big part of this tonight for GW is the three-point shooting as well, just 5 of 22. House will drive in, another and one.
That's just an isolation, running your play down the shot clock. They got to dig in and guard. You can see the clock down the other end is down to 1. Spins back. They got a little spin move. Like I said, every player on Rhode Island seems to have back over to their right hand over your left shoulder. That's how they finish.
House is able to get an advantage on Smith, and Smith picks up his third. Largest lead now, double digits for the first time tonight.
Yeah, this is where they got to respond. GW just has to respond.
Driving in is Buchanan, and he is fouled in the lane by Weston. He'll get 2 at the line as he attacks the bucket.
Love that. Jude's really good at that. He gets to the bucket. It's just here comes Babatunde, and this is where they have to get stops. Smith's got to work a little harder on defense down there because they're exploiting. What they're doing, I said this before to you, Byron. Archie Miller's done a good job of finding out the one area. I think GW is more talented. They have 14 wins. They're ahead of the Caputo's year 2, doing great rebuilding the program. Let's make sure everything's fine here in Foggy Bottom. What they're doing at GW is they're finding the one matchup that is in their favor, and they seem to be exploiting it.
Yep.
And then the offensive, that combined with the offensive rebounds is why we have an 11-point game. Just make this cut it to 10, get some stops. If you're GW.
GW just 4 of 9 at the line.
Courtwright, Archie just had a nice talk with Courtwright about how they're going to run the offense effectively and who they're going to give the ball to. And I think that's what Archie's done a great job of is we need to find out. Now this little 1-3-1 here with Babatunde in the back. Usually the big guy is in the middle in the typical 1-3-1. Babatunde's in the back. That means June and Max have the corners.
Jaden House looking inside, goes to the corner for Weston, thinks about the long jump shot. It's way short. And
Good
Jacoy
job.
rebound.
Good job by Caputo and GW. You go 1-3-1. You stop. They're not going to drive, especially with Babatunde in the back. Make them make shots.
Here comes Max, stripped away. Courtwright bouncer to Zeke Montgomery, and he's got a career high.
Coach Miller made his point with Courtwright. Courtwright responded with the right play in transition.
Central Connecticut State, he had 20 in November of 23, and now he has 21 against GW. Zeke Montgomery. Good pass inside Buchanan. Reverse lay-in is good for stretch.
And they're going to stay in there 1-3-1. Bishop at the top, got the two big guards on the wings. Babatunde in the back, but he's not covering the corner, which is a traditional 1-3-1. They got to be a little more active out there. Now they've dropped back to almost a man-to-man. I'm not really sure what they're in right there.
Long three is good. Zeke Montgomery flying high. He's got 24. A career high continuing for Zeke. Open three on the right side. Largest lead of the game now for the Rams. And the inside play. Reverse layup from Maximus. Good pass from Bishop.
Great pass by Bishop. Got to sprint back and match up on defense.
Weston inside and draws another foul.
That was on a make. I was at the Michigan State-Maryland game last week. And one of the flaws, this was in College Park. A tremendous defensive effort in the second half by the Trips. They lost by 2. But in the first half, on makes, it's hard to run on makes. Well, that's what, right there, Rhode Island caught GW not sprinting all the way back and threw it up the sideline on a make. That's what Michigan State did to get out to a big early lead against Maryland. They held on for a 2-point win.
Good philosophy there, because
when
think
you
the
get
team
a layup,
that just made the layup is kind of high-fiving or whatever a little bit sometimes.
Right.
I'm not saying GW's doing that, but that could happen.
You got to sprint back. We're in a critical situation, 11-point game. We got to get. This is about getting consecutive stops, and you'll be fine if you're GW. But you got to put together consecutive stops. They just had a lax of concentration on defense. They were in the 1-3-1, seemed to fall out of it. Gave up a 3, and that's 2 in transition after a made basket. And Coach Caputo's going to continue to teach his way, and Zach and Cole Boyce and Coach Lee and Lamont, great staff over there. Cooper's a great. Love what's going on here at GW. They're hitting a little adversity, and it's going to be offensive rebounds, making a few free throws, but getting consecutive stops.
Big free throws there for Weston. And that's 7 made free throws for Rhode Island. GW has 5.
That's pack line defense, your UVA thing right there. Everybody.
Maximus is fouled. He'll get 2.
Everyone at
Time out on
just
the
went
floor.
back into the paint.
Yep, pack line. Under 8 left in the second. Big second half for Rhode Island. GW trying to find a way to chip away and get some stops. Down at home on ESPN Plus.
Home.
Welcome back to DC. Tonight's game tracks are presented by Metro. Metro is a proud sponsor of GW Athletics. Rhode Island points in the paint 42 when they have extended their lead to 65 to 52 with under 8 left. And plenty of time, as Coach Pats has talked about. You got to bring it.
No time like the present to start getting consecutive stops. You're down 13. Once again, GW, very good pressing team. Got to stay together. We rode on this bus together. We're on this journey together. If you're GW, let's get together defensively. Let's get some stops. Let's get some quick stores. But if you have to press, they're a good pressing team. And Jacoy's outstanding presser because he can sneak around and steal the ball. Reminds me a little like Michael Adams, who played Gary Williams. That was a great pressing team. He kind of hides behind big guys, gets him to throw it. That's how he got the steal against Davidson that led to the overtime win.
Max to the line for GW, 89% free throw shooter.
Big shot there. Get the next one, set it up.
Max and Buchanan combining for 15 apiece. Both players double figures. Bishop's still stuck at 9. They need to get him going too. A little bit of pressure on the inbound from Jacoy.
Yep, I like this.
1-2-2.
1-2-2, no trap, but they're not going to let them run their stuff. Back to a man. Everybody get down and guard your guy. I like Max's energy there.
House with the backdoor inside. Weston draws another foul.
Not sure about that. One thing I don't like about it is when Archie's, look, he's a good coach, Archie. I'm not saying it's him. We all do it. But I don't like when the referee right in front of the head coach calls the foul. It's almost like the guy said foul, and I didn't really see it there.
Right. The other thing is that Stretch now has 4 fouls, so that's the reason why he's not out there. We see Zam there, and Weston at the line tonight, 4 for 4.
Well, that was just that was a good energy possession by GW on the defensive end, and maybe the referee bailed them out. That's all right. These things even out, but.
And now Bishop has 4 fouls with tons of time left. So another stark reminder of what those 5 fouls from Garrett Johnson can help and what he can do inside.
Well, Garrett makes threes. He's a good rebounder. He's 6'7", smart player too. It's been tremendous. It's a tough loss when you lose a starter like that.
Hutchinson outside. Jacoy right down the lane, and it wasn't open there for June. Coach Caputo wants it to go to 20 seconds, saying there was a kick, but it's going to stay at 12-second shot clock.
That might be better. You got to score fast here and start getting some stops. I like this, June. Just drive that.
June outside, hands off for Bishop, medium range, short. Fighting for the rebound out of bounds, stays with GW.
But they did not reset the shot clock there.
Now it's 4.
June ran that well.
I
thought June maybe possibly could have driven the ball on him, but he ran the play that Coach Caputo wanted. They got a stagger for Bishop. James just got to go up, rise up, and make that.
Looking into the corner. Zam the stutter step, fade away out of the corner, air ball, and here comes Rhode.
They're going to run their offense because they're up, but you still got to get a stop. So they go inside to the mismatch there. It's good help by Jacoy.
No look inside, a shot no good for Brown. Another foul against GW. And the parade here in the second half at the free throw line for Rhode Island. They're 6 of 7 at the line here in the second half. Stretch is at the scorer's table with 4 fouls, so they're going to put all their cards in the middle of the table. All the chips, rather, in the middle of the table to try to stay in this ballgame. Brown misses the free throw. He's another one you want to foul. He's just a 47% free throw shooter, along with a 34 from Formina.
One out of 2 for them. So now it's a 14-point game with 6:46, and GW gets the jump ball. I just got to see the sense of urgency from GW here to score and set up your defense. I like that. Go score, lay it in.
Buchanan inside, a nice screen from Stretch.
I like Jacoy. I like that. Jacoy is picking up full court. Coach Caputo wants him to, he's trying to get him to stop the gap. Stop the drives. Don't give any easy drives, because that's when they've been passing the ball and making extra plays.
Courtright tries the alley-oop inside, and the lay-in is good. Brown makes it, and Stretch is playing with 4 fouls anyway.
Remember, part of that passing is how's the pressure on the passer? How's the ball pressure on the passer? Oh, that's just a Jacoy trying to do too much.
And that is Zeke Montgomery, the career high 26. Timeout called by GW. With 5:47 on the clock. And we'll take a timeout ourselves. Rhode Island in control. Under 6 minutes left second here at Smith Center.
They haven't
Coach
won.
Caputo.
They haven't won here in a while.
After this break. Welcome back to DC. Zeke Montgomery putting on a show for Rhode Island. He's got a career high 26. He's been able to hit from the outside with 3 3-pointers, but he's 11 of 14 from the field tonight.
Yeah, taking the ball to the paint. They have 46 points in the paint. It's very rare that someone gets more points in the paint. Coach Caputo is an excellent coach at offensive, not just like an offensive coach. In other words, Coach Caputo is excellent at figuring out where he can score and what's the best attack plan, and usually it's through the paint. They have 32 points in the paint. URI has 46. That's one thing. But the bench points, URI found out Green couldn't come. And for all you URI fans listening, he's coming back. He's just got a flu, COVID. I'm not a doctor. But he's going to be out a game or two. He's coming back. They had a day to prepare for it. They answered the bell. You found out Garrett Johnson couldn't go. Okay, then you found out Always couldn't go, the backup point guard of Rhode Island. Well, Rhode Island's second unit has 30 points off the bench. And whatever that is, that's the difference. They have 30. And Trey Otfi, who was once a starter, and, Jacoy stressed in, and Zam, and, Antoine Smith, they're going to have to get together as a unit and figure out how can we do more. Because right now, that's the difference in the game. And it's no one's doing it intentionally, but, Trey Otfi is a freshman. He started. He had some really good games.
Buchanan low blocks, and he has fouled it. He gets the offensive rebounds. He'll get a chance to go. But a hat tip to the defense from Rhode Island as well. It's been outstanding tonight.
And I like that. Trey's getting everybody together. As far as a coach, Red Otfi, we've talked about this. This is a learning thing for a very GW. Do not forget, this is a very young team. Even Maximus, it's only his second year playing. The only veteran out there that has a lot of experience is James Bishop. Babatunde, coming from Auburn, and Bruce Pearl, fantastic. That's why Oscar Coro's here. This is really his first year playing a lot of minutes.
He's an older player, but he didn't play that much at Auburn.
Right, so you have one guy that has a lot of experience out there, and this is, Coach Caputo is going to take his time to build. This game is far from over, but you're going to have to start pressing. You're going to have to turn them over to get scores. Well, GW's just, this is how it feels, when you run into a league that's now has 7 teams in the top 100. It's been a historical league. I don't have to tell you, Byron, you've been here a long time, that this league can be unforgiving.
Absolutely, especially this time of year. And
You know,
that
Rhode
time
Island,
there is a step out of bounds on Rhode Island, but good hustle on defense for both teams to try to get that rebound. And GW has a chance now to. They move the scoreboard a little bit on that free throw, but they need some field goals.
Yeah, they got the ball back, which is key now. Run your stuff. Yep.
Back door for Buchanan inside. And one for Darren Buchanan, and he gets pumped up. Getting the bench pumped up, and GW can get to 60 with a free throw.
Good pass by Bishop. That was a flex cut on the side out of bounds. He's the inbounder guy, turns his head. Good screen. Gets the ball inside, and as usual, Buchanan finishes in there because he's a tremendous in-the-paint player.
That's the 19th foul of Rhode Island, so that means double bonus for both teams the rest of the game.
It's all right. Just get a stop here. If you're not going to trap, then you got to get stops. You're going to get consecutive stops. I like this. Trey Arthur's good on the ball. Switching that.
Brown against Babatunde. Remember, Bishop and Stretch playing with 4 fouls. They've done so
trap
for
that. Good.
About 2.5 minutes. Maximus, smart play, just had his arm out and knocks it away. But Stretch is called for the walk.
He went to throw it. He was just excited. They double-teamed the ball. Max recovered well, put his hand out. Big steal. Just got a little excited there. That's okay. That's one of those things that's going to get better. But like the energy on defense by GW. Trapping the ball screen. Great play by Maximus to get his hand out in the overplay. They get the ball back. Just sometimes the easy thing for Babatunde is just hold it. And right now on that court, the way I'm looking at it, I'm giving it to James Bishop or I'm giving it to Buchanan because they're your point guards.
Here comes the inbound for Weston.
This
5 minutes left in the game.
And that has not been a strong point for GW when they're trailing with 5 minutes left in the game.
Into the corner, House will drive through, underhanded layup fouled as he went through. 2 shots coming up. Maximus will pick it up. That'll be his 4th. So now 3 starters with 4 fouls for the Revs.
Good defense. Max makes him go. Look, he's going left. At the last second, he comes down with his arm. You know, the ref Harry has to call that. It's good defense. Babatunde was going to block it. He's going to miss. These are little learning tools.
Rhode Island 25 of 42 inside the arc. So they have been able to get a lot of points in the paint.
That is a high percentage. That is a high percentage. I'm shooting 50%, above 50% from the field. That's too high. As Chris always says, Coach Caputo, we need to get stops so we can run.
And their free throws starting to make a difference as well. 10 of 13. Trey Autry with a big rebound, and he's fouled, and he'll go up, so he'll get 2 at the line. And Autry, outstanding free throw shooter at 80%.
Offensive rebounding hurts both ways. There's 4:39 left. They're above their average with 4 minutes to go on the points on Rhode Island. GW, unfortunately, is pretty much below their average on scoring because Chris Caputo can really coach offense, and they know how to score. So this is one of those things, a little bit of an offensive slump.
Autry's dad had to dismiss Benny Williams today from the Syracuse basketball team.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I just know he's doing a good job in his first year. I don't know what happened there.
Lots of stuff is happening. You don't get dismissed from a basketball team for just for a couple things.
But something's going on for a long time. So
no, good for Coach Autry.
And here we go up the sideline for Rhode Island. Court right, trying for the Sports Center highlight, but Babatunde says, Dikembe Mutombo, no way. And here comes Buchanan the other way. Look out. Great fake to get Tyson Brown up in the air, and more free throws coming up for GW.
You know, good move by Courtright, but you could have just ran 25 off the clock. I know Coach Miller's. You better learn to listen to Archie Miller if you want to know how to play the point, because boy, could he play the point. Well, Courtright, you know, A for effort, but he didn't convert. Now GW comes back, scores quickly. I think Caputo's pretty soon going to go to his press.
That's the first
Rhode Island player with 4 personal fouls for Brown.
So
a press would be a good idea. 4:27. We're seeing AJ decide checking to make sure that June is okay, telling him he does have 2 shots. And now Sean Hall coming in, see if they see any blood. We want to make sure also, of course, that June is all right. And here we go. Free throw line for Buchanan. 4 for 8 at the stripe.
It's just one of those little things when you're not winning, that little things add up to the free throw percentage. You know, they're below 50% right now, 50%. They're giving up 50%. They're not shooting free throws well, GW. Those are 2 areas they're usually pretty strong in. So you just got to dig yourself out. Make this free throw here. Either get a stop or press.
Buchanan gets it to 61. Here comes the press after the made free throw.
Probably going to trap over half court.
Trap house, so he'll go to the baseline. And Weston to play 4 corners. Court right against Jacoy. Down the lane he goes. And finishes.
With his right hand. You can't let him out of that trap. Then he shot fakes. I thought Babatunde might block it, but good execution by Rhode Island. Rhode Island's playing well. This is why they won. They won 3 games to start the A-10. They were a little surprised of the lead.
Court right with the steal, hands it back for House, and a highlight reel dunk.
What I don't like there is Edwards got back. Where was everyone else running with GW? In other words, he threw that and House dunked it.
Yeah, 2-on-1 for Rhode Island. They delivered, largest lead. Buchanan floats through off the glass and puts it home.
Continues to produce 23.6 rebound, 3 assists. Great game by Buchanan. Maybe run and jump or trap the ball screen here.
One-on-one from Autry.
Good, I like that. Nice steal that.
Roll
Good
and
play.
a steal. Jacoy has a 4-on-2.
Good shot by Trey.
Long
Gotta take
3.
that. It's all right. Good shot. Yeah, way to get
Ball's
in there,
loose on the
Jacoy.
floor. And we got a foul, and Babatunde has fouled out.
Ball just hasn't bounced GW's way. A couple missed free throws. This couple hasn't bounced their way.
Timeout on the floor at 3:03. Rhode Island with a big second half, and they lead by 15.
The Atlantic 10 Conference, where basketball legends are made, where the brightest stars showcase their skills and compete at the highest level. With 109 postseason appearances over 20 years, the A10 embodies the spirit of competition. Beyond athletics, the conference sets the standard for excellence in both sports and academics, celebrating the relentless pursuit of victory on and off the court. In the A10, greatness has no limits.
My shoulder is completely fixed. I feel as though I have a new shoulder. I went to GW Hospital to get my operation for my rotator cuff tear. They made me feel quite safe, even during the pandemic. They referred me to get the minimal invasive surgery, and it was excellent. Now I got into abstract art because of my wife. I'm very appreciative of GW Hospital.
From routine care to life-saving emergencies, we're here for you, the George Washington University Hospital.
Security. It's something we all want. Something we need to feel safe. It's everywhere we go. It's in everything we do. But the idea of safety can be overwhelming. How do you secure what you can't see? How do you secure your future? For 80 years, WAPA's group term life insurance has helped provide financial safety, security, and peace of mind to current and former civilian federal employees. To learn more, visit WAPA.org.
Welcome back to Washington, D.C. Byron Gurr and Jimmy Patsos. 3 minutes left in this one. Incredible second half for Rhode Island, outscoring GW 43-26. And they lead at 78-63 behind a career high 26 from Zeke Montgomery. Also a double-double for Louis Courtright, 10 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists.
Yes, transfer from Quinnipiac. Coach Lee coached him out there in Quinnipiac.
Jaden House is plus 19. He had 18, 2, and 1. So they have gotten several players to get involved.
Jaden House played for G.G. Smith, Tubby's son, my former assistant down there at High Point. What's made the transfer portal so interesting is there's all situations. There's D2 guys up in Towson getting a chance to show their medal. Suleiman. There's high majors like Babatunde coming down here and setting the block record. There's same level transfers. There's in-conference transfers. Whether you like it or not, the NIL and the transfer portal is here to stay. I think you should only be able to transfer one. But according to what I heard, the NCAA is not going to deal with that right now. Not that I'm not a lawyer. I don't know anything about that. But now, all of a sudden, there's lots of ways to transfer, and it's how you manage the transfer portal. And Chris Caputo's done an absolute fantastic job. You know, June Buchanan, fantastic. Maximus Edwards last year from Kansas State. He's going high major. Babatunde, okay. Garrett from Princeton. That's probably more of a lateral move. Remember, Princeton did go to the Sweet 16, and they're in the top 25 right now in the NCAA net. Princeton, yes. Them and Yale, it's going to come down to those two. This is how you're going to manage these players. Well, a guy from High Point, a guy from Bradley, they're really excited to be here. You know, some guys might think this is what. And James Bishop was a transfer from LSU. That LSU, like the SEC LSU. Chip Kelly, Nick Saban, national title, baseball championship. So there's all stories. But at the end of the day, the A-10, always a top 10 conference. I know last year they weren't, but always a top 10 conference. Multiple bid leagues. You've got John Calipari to John Chaney to Skip Prosser. There's all kinds. Well, the history of this league says you're going to have to battle in January and February. And it's going to be a tough league. It's going to be a grind. And that's the young team of GW is learning that. And that's going to prove valuable in the future. The problem is you got to deal with it right now.
Backdoor ins for Maximus off the glass and in. A great pass by Jacoy.
It's a huge plus tonight that they got Maximus going. You know, now he's got to get everybody on the same page and go back to scoring 80 points. But, you know, Archie Miller can scout. And Loyola Chicago's coming in here. And it's a great opportunity for GW to win at noon. It's on Monumental. Come down to the game.
And an and one again. That's been a theme tonight as Rhode Island has been able to finish their plays once they got fouled.
Well, I had Rhode Island against Delaware. Austin Carroll, full disclosure, is a friend of mine. Known his dad forever. Good man. Well, they were worried about their competitive nature, how hard they were fighting and playing each possession. They didn't play well against Delaware. I just saw him. I said, how's it going? Obviously, he had a big win. Rhode Island's learning how to compete in the A-10 level. They are growing up on the job. You know, December and November are nice, but January and February, where you're in your stripes, and March is where you get paid. In other words, it's your coaching acumen. Rhode Island is much improved from when I saw them. They're much more, their pace is better, they're tougher, they're doing a lot of little things better, and Coach Miller, you got to give him credit. He got this team a lot better.
Jaden House, our player to watch, also over 20 points tonight. He's got 21 to go on 9 of 16 shooting.
Last year, GW, now this is going to be a season split. Last year, GW went up there and won in overtime. This year, Rhode Island comes down here, and GW leads the all-time series. Well, right now, with this situation here, it's time to regroup. If you're GW, it's got to start in the locker room. It's not the coaches. James Bishop and all the players got to make a decision. We're going to fight for 40 minutes.
Here is House to split the defenders. That shot is partially blocked. He gets the rebound and puts it in. Ton of offensive second opportunities for Rhode Island.
You know, those little hustle plays haven't gone GW's way tonight, but we'll learn. We'll get better and keep giving Max the ball. Bishop's going to come around, and Buchanan's been great, and we need Garrett healthy, though. And that's part of the breaks of the game is he's not healthy, but Garrett's fantastic when he's back. And that's my dissertation on the GW program. Everything's fine. They're young, be patient, and just hit a little bit of a wall because they're a young team. See how they respond to this challenge. Come back Saturday in Georgia's Army. Everybody come out and get a win against Loyola Chicago.
Benny Schroeder coming back in for Bishop at 139, so that'll do it for Bishop. Held under 10 points. 9 points tonight for Bishop. 3 times during the losing streak, he's had 10 or fewer points. 90 seconds remaining. Big one for the Rams. They're going to get to 500 in the A-10.
Wow, that was what I talked about. The first thing I said was you got to keep up in these standings, and getting to 500 is part of that. Being 500 in your league. Remember, I grew up in the ACC. I was coached in the MAC for 14 years. I remember coming to games when Tom Bennett was the coach at Rhode Island here. Okay, when GW was way down, then Coach Javas came in here and turned this thing all around.
Shout
The
out
first
to
step,
Coach Jarvis.
love Coach Jarvis.
Just follow me on Twitter.
Here's the deal.
Coach Jarvis.
You hang around 500 in your league and good things can happen, and that's what Rhode Island did, answer the bell. Coach Caputo and GW's got to find a way to get back to that. This is a big game for them because, you're going to get your non-conference wins because you're a high-end conference, play some money games, you're a good league. Hanging around 500, making that next step up above 500 in your league, and that's when you're in Golden Pond here. Well, gee, that's a big win for Rhode Island here.
Yep, hat tip to Zeke Montgomery with the career high tonight. 30 points for Zeke Montgomery.
And remember, it's never as bad as you think it is. Sometimes it's never as good as you think it is. You just go back to work, find a way to play 40 minutes, and it's a great opportunity to beat Loyola Chicago, who you went out and beat last year. See, Rhode Island remembers that GW beat them last year. Loyola Chicago's at George Mason.
Jacoy takes it right back. Zam is open, sets his feet, and fires a three. And this is a tough one tonight.
Yeah, it's not going to make anybody in the GW locker room happy, and it shouldn't. But you know what? We got to learn from it. We got to keep getting better. Got a lot of basketball to play. A really talented team with a lot of nice pieces there. It'd just be nice to get Garrett back.
And Zeke will get a chance to continue to add to that career high. He's had quite the night. 11 made field goals and 5 free throws to go with 3 3-pointers. Came in averaging 9 points a game, and he's got 30. GW against Loyola Chicago on Saturday at 12 noon. And as Coach Patsos talked about, they're in town this entire week. They're playing the Patriots of George Mason.
And that's a great time to get them because they're going to be tired. You know, you're going to be here for 4 days. You know, how many sightseeing tours can you take? It's a long time. Be ready to jump them at home. George's Army, there's no night classes. Be ready to come on up. Come on down. Great event here. And we're all Chicago and Coach Valentine. They're making some noise out there in Chicago. They're in 3rd place. It's Dayton, then it's Richmond, then it's Loyola Chicago, then it's VCU. That's how it's shaking out right now. St. Bonnie's has a high RP.
Good backdoor.
NCAA net.
Jersey was being held. Autry 3 from the right side.
Good save by Keegan.
Keegan saves it inbounds. Autry will have another chance. Pump fakes, shoots it along 3 rather. Ball's tapped out of bounds, and that will do it. Big second half.